Hey there, fellow soil enthusiasts. If you've ever run your fingers through that perfect, crumbly, chocolate-brown earth that makes plants absolutely thrive, you've experienced the magic of humus firsthand. I'm here to demystify this gardening gold and show you exactly how to create your own soil paradise through the art of composting. Whether you're just starting your gardening journey, or you've been nurturing plants for decades, understanding humus and mastering composting will revolutionize your garden. Trust me, once you see how this dark, nutrient-rich material transforms struggling plants into vigorous powerhouses, you'll never look at kitchen scraps the same way again. Let's start with the basics, because even seasoned gardeners sometimes get confused about this term. Humus isn't just compost. It's the final stage of organic matter decomposition, where materials have broken down so completely that they've become a stable, nutrient-rich substance that can last in your soil for years. Think of humus as nature's multivitamin for your soil. It's formed when microorganisms, earthworms, and countless other soil creatures work together to break down organic matter into its most useful form. This process creates a substance that's incredibly rich in nutrients, improves soil structure, and acts like a sponge to hold both water and air. Exactly what plant roots crave. The beauty of humus lies in its stability. Unlike fresh compost that continues breaking down rapidly, humus provides long-term soil improvement. It creates those precious soil aggregates that give healthy soil its crumbly texture, allowing roots to penetrate easily while maintaining the perfect balance of drainage and moisture retention. Understanding how humus functions in your soil will help you appreciate why it's worth the effort to create. When you add humus to your garden beds, you're essentially introducing millions of beneficial microorganisms that form partnerships with your plant's roots. These microscopic allies help plants access nutrients that would otherwise remain locked away in the soil. Humus also dramatically improves your soil's cation exchange capacity, a fancy term that basically means your soil becomes much better at holding on to nutrients instead of letting them wash away with the next rain. This means your fertilizers work more efficiently, and your plants get steady nutrition over time rather than feast or famine cycles. Perhaps most importantly, humus helps buffer your soil's pH, making it more forgiving if you're dealing with very acidic or alkaline conditions. It creates a more stable environment where plants can thrive even when conditions aren't perfect. Now that you understand what humus is, let's talk about creating it through composting. The key to successful composting lies in understanding the 4 essential elements: carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and water. Get these balanced correctly, and you'll have finished compost in months rather than years. Your carbon sources, often called browns, include dry leaves, paper, cardboard, and woody materials. These provide energy for the microorganisms doing the decomposition work. Your nitrogen sources, the greens, include kitchen scraps, fresh grass clippings, and manure. These provide the protein that microorganisms need to multiply and thrive. The magic ratio is roughly 30 parts carbon to 1 part nitrogen, but don't stress about being exact. Start by layering roughly equal volumes of browns and greens, and adjust as you learn what works in your specific conditions. If your pile is too wet and smelly, just add more browns. If it's not heating up or decomposing slowly, go ahead and add more greens. Hot composting is the fastest route to finished compost, and honestly, it's incredibly satisfying to see the process in action. When done correctly, your pile will heat up to between 130 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit, which kills weed seeds and pathogens while accelerating decomposition. Start with a pile that's at least 3 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet. This size holds heat effectively. Layer your materials like you're making a lasagna browns on the bottom for drainage, then alternate layers of greens and browns. Water each layer lightly until the materials feel like a wrung-out sponge. Within a few days, your pile should start heating up. This is when the magic happens. Thermophilic bacteria take over and really get to work. Turn your pile every week or two, moving materials from the outside to the center and adding water if needed. Most hot compost piles produce finished compost in 2 to 4 months. Not everyone wants to manage an active hot compost pile, and that's perfectly fine. Cold composting requires minimal effort and still produces excellent results. It just takes longer, typically 6 months to 2 years. With cold composting, you simply add materials as they become available, occasionally mixing things up and keeping the pile moist. The decomposition happens more slowly, driven by mesophilic bacteria, fungi, and soil creatures working at their own pace. This method is perfect if you're adding materials gradually or prefer a set-it-and-forget-it approach. Even experienced composters run into issues occasionally, and knowing how to solve them quickly gets you back on track. If your pile smells like ammonia, you have too much nitrogen. Add browns and turn the pile to introduce oxygen. If it smells like rotten eggs, it's too wet and lacks oxygen. Add dry browns and turn more frequently. Slow decomposition usually means your pile needs more nitrogen, more water, or better oxygen flow. Fruit flies can be managed by burying fresh kitchen scraps under a layer of browns. Rodents are typically attracted to inappropriate materials like meat or oils. Stick to vegetable scraps and you shouldn't have problems. If your finished compost seems too coarse, don't worry. You can screen it through hardware cloth, using the larger pieces to start your next pile. Sometimes the composting process creates different size particles, and that's completely normal. While your finished compost is incredibly valuable, true humus formation actually happens after you add it to your soil. The compost keeps breaking down slowly, interacting with soil minerals and the existing organic matter to create these stable humus compounds. This is why, honestly, it's important to add compost regularly instead of just treating it like a one-time soil amendment. Each addition helps feed the ongoing humus-building process, gradually transforming your soil into that rich, dark, fertile medium that, well, plants absolutely love. You'll know you're building humus when your soil starts to feel different, more spongy, easier to dig, and better at holding moisture without getting waterlogged. Plants will show their appreciation with stronger growth, better disease resistance, and more vibrant colors. Once you've mastered basic composting, you can, explore techniques that specifically enhance humus formation. Sheet mulching, also called lasagna gardening, involves layering organic materials directly on your garden beds, creating humus in place while suppressing weeds and retaining moisture. Vermicomposting, using worms to process organic matter, produces incredibly rich castings that are essentially pre-digested humus. Worm castings have exceptional nutrient density and beneficial microorganism populations that can dramatically improve plant health. Consider incorporating biochar into your composting process. This stable form of carbon can persist in soil for centuries, providing long-term humus-like benefits while helping sequester carbon. Mix small amounts into your compost piles or add it directly to finished compost before applying to your garden. Ready to transform your garden with the power of humus? Start your composting journey today, and don't forget to subscribe to Soil Sensei for more deep-dive gardening wisdom. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who are ready to unlock the secrets of soil health. Together, we can grow better gardens and build more fertile ground for future generations.